The little girl whispered, "Sir, my mom didn't come home last night." A CEO's snowstorm promise. The city lay buried beneath a thick blanket of snow, its streets hushed, its lights flickering through the icy haze. At 11:47 p.m., Arlon Crawford, CEO of Viridian Capital, stepped out of his chauffeured car outside the Grand Meridian Hotel, collar turned up against the biting wind. His mind was still tangled in quarterly reports and merger strategies, until a small voice, trembling like a leaf in a storm, stopped him cold. "Sir, my mom didn't come home last night." He turned. There, half hidden behind a snow-laden lamp post, stood a little girl, no older than 6, barefoot and worn slippers, her coat too thin for the winter, eyes wide with fear and tears frozen on her lashes. Her name was Safina. Arlon crouched down, his tailored overcoat brushing the snow. "What's your name, sweetheart?" "Safina," she whispered. "My mom works at the Golden Crust Bakery. She always comes home, but last night the storm came and she never did." Something inside Arlon cracked open, a memory he hadn't visited in decades. Himself, 7 years old, standing on a porch in the rain, waiting for a mother who never returned. The wound had scarred over, but it had never healed. Without a word, he took off his scarf and wrapped it gently around Safina's neck. "We're going to find her," he said, his voice firmer than he felt. "Together." Hand in hand, CEO and child ventured into the snowstorm. Their first stop, the Golden Crust Bakery, its windows dark, but its warmth still lingering in the air. The night cleaner, Maria, wiped her hands on her apron. "Mara? Oh, honey, she left right before the storm hit. Said she had to get home to Safina, was real worried the roads would close." They asked the taxi drivers parked nearby. One remembered picking up a woman matching Mara's description near the bridge, but she'd asked to be dropped off early to save fare. They checked the bridge. Nothing. Hours passed. Safina shivered, her fingers clutching Arlon's sleeve like a lifeline. Every no they heard chipped away at hope, but Arlon refused to stop. Because if no one had stepped in for him all those years ago, would he have made it? Just before dawn, in a forgotten alley near the old textile mills, they met a man wrapped in layers of newspaper, huddled by a barrel fire. "Mara?" he croaked, eyes sharp beneath his hood. "Yeah, saw her. Slipped on the ice near the river bend. Couldn't walk. A volunteer from the Haven shelter carried her off in a wheelchair." Arlon's heart leapt. "Where's the shelter?" "5 blocks east, but good luck getting in. Power's out and they're overrun." He didn't hesitate. Scooping Safina into his arms, Arlon ran. The Haven Community Shelter was dim, crowded, humming with the quiet desperation of those who'd fallen through society's cracks. Volunteers moved like shadows, offering blankets, soup, and dignity where they could. Then, there she was. Mara sat on a cot near the back, leg wrapped in a makeshift cast, eyes red from crying, until they landed on Safina. "Safina!" she cried, voice breaking. Safina launched herself into her mother's arms, sobbing, "I knew someone would help! I knew it!" Arlon stood back, throat tight. He watched as mother and child clung to each other, 2 fragile souls mended simply by being found. Later, as Mara whispered her thanks, her voice raw with exhaustion and gratitude, Arlon quietly pulled aside the shelter's director. "Cover her medical bills and rent for the next 3 months, whatever she needs." "But, sir, who are you?" He glanced at Safina, now asleep in her mother's lap, finally safe. just someone who remembered what it feels like to be left behind. Days later, Arlon returned, not in a limousine, but with groceries, warm coats, and a promise. If you ever need anything, call me, day or night. Mara, now healing, smiled through tears. You didn't just find me. You gave my daughter back her childhood. And in that moment, Arlon realized something profound. Power isn't measured in boardrooms or balance sheets, but in the courage to kneel in the snow for a stranger's child. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that one act of kindness can rewrite someone's entire story, please like, share, and subscribe to ACA Story Tales. We create heartfelt, cinematic tales of redemption, courage, and human connection, because the world needs more light, especially in the storm. Comment below. Have you ever been someone's unexpected hero? Or had one appear when you needed them most? Don't forget to tell us where you're watching from. We love knowing our community spans across the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, and beyond. Stay kind, stay hopeful, and never underestimate the power of a whispered plea and the heart that chooses to answer it. Thanks for watching.